Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainboots. I've had a few messages and comments about how to color or recolor vectors and SVG files inside of xTool Studio. So if you have the apparel printer or the xTool M2, these both apply to you. Last week I shared how you can edit and recolor text right inside of Studio. I'll put the link below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit R on my keyboard, hold down Shift and get a square. You can also come to your drawing menu and you can choose any of these or draw your own shape. You can also come to the Elements menu. Let's type in heart and you have a ton of stuff. I'm going to look for a smart template. Oh, here's one. So if you find an element with this symbol, and click and enter it, this is called a smart builder or a builder template. And what it means is, if you look at the menu up here, and then I switch to the square, you see how those menus are different? If we hit this first thing, we can change the vectors, right? These are the nodes that send instructions, and we can save them. This one, if we choose edit, it's going to bring up our builder elements. So let's say I wanted to, actually let's increase the, see how that point got different? Let's do maybe 0.75 for the tilt. See how it changed? So once we're done editing that, we're going to right click and explode it. So edit will get us right back to this little selection, and explode will make it a vector. So you see smart template is exploded, and now it's exactly like that one. If I double click this one, I now will get this menu. See that? And again, I can edit it any way I want. All right. I'm also going to bring in this to show you an example of what you cannot do inside of Studio. The last thing I want to do is bring in an SVG. All right, so you can see that this is a grouped SVG. And we know that because up at the top bar menu, it says ungroup up there, but also in the layers and objects list over here at the left, you have this massive group. If I hit ungroup a whole bunch of times, now I'm to each individual item inside of here. If you have purchased an SVG and want to recolor it, you can use this method. You cannot use this method if you upload the PNG. That will take a little bit of extra effort and an external program. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. So let's say you want to change the color of this little arrow tag we made. Well, we don't have the fill, stroke, shadow options up here, and that is all starting because we don't have the right mode selected. So the first thing we'll do is go to mode. Inkjet printing will turn everything to a print function. Print then cut, a lot of people are getting confused on this one because they don't believe they have the right menu coming up, but you do. So I'm going to choose print then cut, and I'm going to select this tag of whatever we made. We're going to select this. Now, it does not have our fill and stroke and shadow menu because if we come into processing module, it's set to laser. Yours could be any one of these lasers, but if it's not set to printer, it won't work. But when we select printer, watch what the top menu bar does. Now we have the ability to not only edit the vector like we did before, so let's bring it like that. We also now have the ability to edit the color to a print. We have the ability to edit the stroke, either making it very large, maybe we want to color it, or we add a gradient to it. You see that gradient right there? We also have the ability to do this with exploded items as well. Again, we have to make sure that the print module is selected inside of our print then cut. You see that? So let's say we wanted to add the shadow for this and it's a 3D shadow. Let's go ahead and fill this with, actually let's use the same red. And let's go ahead and hit no stroke. So now we have a stroke with a gradient, and we have a color fill. We have a color fill exploded template with a 3D shadow. Now for this, you can change each individual element or all of the elements. So here, I'm going to highlight all of this at once, and over here I'm going to select printer. Once that's done, I can select each of these. Let's say we only wanted two of these little cuties, 1, 2, and we want them to be sort of more of deep, well, whatever. We can do that. We can also do our same thing as we did before with a gradient. We can do this. So if we want a light blue to a darker blue, we can do that, right? See that? Or we can group the whole thing together and change the whole thing together. Oops, there we go. See? And again, you can do your gradient for the whole thing. All of this is at your disposal, right? So if you are not in the correct processing module drop-down mode, just come down here and change it. And again, you can change it for each of these separately, right? I can change this back to laser. There you go. And look, it goes right back to laser. Okay? Now, the one thing I want to give you a caveat is that images are not going to be recolored. So you can tell this is an image over here, and you can also tell it's an image because on the laser module, it only offers engrave. You can print this just as you see on the screen. So when I choose this to print or change this to printer, I still don't get that menu. Now, somebody said, why don't you just create a color shape? So we change this to printer. We'll fill this with our red, let's say. We'll drag this one on top. We'll select both and select mask. It won't work. Hit done. Let's undo that, because I know some people are going to be like, you don't have it over it, right? So let's put this one. I'm just using Command or Control brackets to move those layers, but you can also drag and drop each of these layers over here in the objects panel. So I'm going to select both of them again. As a reminder, you know they're selected if they're both gray over here, and I'm going to choose mask, and we'll hit done, and look, nothing changes. So this is because this is already an image. So if you tried to bring in a photo and recolor it inside of xTool Studio, that's not ready yet. There are ways to get around that. We can't recolor images in xTool Studio at this time. The fact that you can still do all of this is pretty amazing. If you haven't seen the text video, I really urge you to go and view that. I'll put it down below. But this mode is only when you are either in print, inkjet printing, or print then cut. And if you are in print then cut, you have to make sure that you've identified the right processing module to get these cool options. So what do you think about this? I think this is amazing. As somebody who's been using the software for many years, this is amazing. So I'd love to hear what you're going to make with this. Let me know down in the comments section below. Also, let me know your laser and your wattage so I can create tutorials that better support you. I sincerely appreciate you being here with me today. Please like the video. Please share the video to help everyone out, and subscribe for more xTool M2 content.